Two military ceremonies held within hours of one another. The first in Iraq, where the Americans signaled their attention is turning to a new front, Yemen. The second in Somalia, where al-Shabaab leaders said exactly the same thing. These new recruits will be sent to Yemen if needed. Both sides acknowledging what seems increasingly apparent. The fight for Yemen has already started to intensify. And in a further sign that al-Shabaab is serious about its intentions, police in Denmark have shot and wounded a Somali man who was trying to attack a Danish artist who had previously drawn a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad, which has drawn widespread condemnation throughout the Muslim world. Danish intelligence operatives say they believe the man has close ties to al-Shabaab and to what they say is, quote, al-Qaeda leaders in Eastern Africa. Those leaders are now thought to be working in concert with these men, who lead what's now being called al-Qaeda on the Arabian Peninsula, the combined forces operating both in Yemen and Saudi Arabia, and who have indirectly claimed responsibility for orchestrating the failed attack last week by an attempted bomber on a passenger plane traveling to Detroit. A claim Barack Obama finds credible based on an address just released by the White House.
It appears that he joined an affiliate of al-Qaeda, and that this group, al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, trained him, equipped him with those explosives, and directed him to attack that plane headed for America. This is not the first time this group has targeted us. In recent years, they've bombed Yemeni government facilities and Western hotels, restaurants, and embassies, including our embassy in 2008, killing one American. So as president, I've made it a priority to strengthen our partnership with the Yemeni government, training and equipping their security forces, sharing intelligence, and working with them to strike al-Qaeda terrorists.
Obama has already taken steps to this end. Earlier this week, it was announced that the U.S. military aid budget for Yemen has been doubled for this year. This shift in focus is now apparent in London as well. British Prime Minister Gordon Brown is calling for an international conference on Yemen to be held in London later this month. He says his country's commitment to Yemen will soon surpass $150 million in aid, in a bid to do whatever necessary to prop up the government in Sana'a. The risk of Yemen becoming a failed state has become even more acute in the past year, not only because of the connection to the failed plane attack, but because al-Qaeda has consolidated its efforts in the region and now openly boasts of operating with impunity in areas of the country which the government is too weak to control. The attempted attack in Denmark and the failed plane bombing are now the latest two incidents linked to al-Qaeda in Yemen and its sympathizers, which means just as the Americans and the British say they're ready to send more help to the government in Yemen, al-Qaeda and its allies say this is a fight they're ready to engage in. Owen Fay, Al Jazeera.